Let's get started with threading and plugging in the machine. Start off by putting your foot control and power cord in on the side of the machine. The power cord is going to go underneath the power switch, so go ahead and turn that on when you get there. And then the foot control has the cord wrapped up underneath the foot control. And it goes ahead, and when you wind it up for later, wrap it clockwise. And then notice there's a little part here, a little catch. And when you come back and double that back, and it plugs right into the side. So everything hides while you're traveling. So go ahead and just pull off as much as you need to reach the floor. I like to not leave too much extra cord, but just enough to get it set. All right, we'll bring this back around here. Notice there's one little piece of styrofoam still underneath, so we'll slide that out and throw it away. And our card with all of our stitches will fit nicely on the top part here. My little piece is not where I left it. I will find it. But that will actually fit right up top. And then when we go into for threading the machine, what we want to do is take a look at the spool that you're working with and actually match the spool cap up. For example, this spool is nice and large, so I want the larger spool cap to come on. A spool that is a little bit smaller, like this one, we want the medium size. And then the one like this one, this is great for that little tiny one because it will fit right into that hole. Put the prong side in first, and that will really hold it. Now, one thing about some of the larger spools, when you put them up here, with the little foam base, it might feel like you're squishing it. If that's the case, just go ahead and pull that off and then put it on. You'll have plenty of room to slide that in place and put the little prongs in first. And also, too, you're going to notice that that will help center the spool so it's not kind of hanging down, especially on some of your larger ones. Now, a spool that is what is called stack thread, these have all been cross-wound where you see a little X on them. X's or cross-wound thread need to go ahead and lay down on the horizontal spool pin. So we'll go ahead and be putting this one on this way. But a stack thread actually is best if you put it on the vertical spool pin and just have it pull off the back side. You can put that other foam spool on the back there, and then we'll have it go into the machine. So really easy to do. You can also use this when you're using a double needle. We'll do a video on that as well. Just a note though, do not store a spare spool here because this will find its way into the hand wheel, and before you know it, you have an empty spool, and that's not good. All right, so let's go ahead. We'll put away the things we're not using. We'll put on the things we are using and the proper spool cap. Let's start off by winding a bobbin. Get over here and take a bobbin out, nice empty bobbin. And we'll always use the first guide of the sewing machine for both threading and winding a bobbin. That's right underneath here. Take your two hands, come underneath, and then the little pre-tensioner has a little picture of the arrow, which way to go around. I hold it and then click it in. You can kind of hear that little click. Now, once you've crisscrossed yourself, go ahead and put the bobbin on. Do you notice there's little grooves in here? Those little grooves are going to allow you to wrap the thread clockwise, same direction as this arrow. 1, 2, 3, and there's a little bit of a cutter underneath this little gray part. When you cut it and push it over, it will wind at the same time. And I'm not stepping on the foot control. So this is actually a separate motor, and we'll wind your bobbin up. Now, I always wind a full bobbin because that's about as much as I use. And if I don't, Murphy's Law is I needed this much more. So wind yourself full bobbins, buy extra bobbins. Speaking of bobbins, you do want to use true Bernina bobbins. Just because they look the same from an older machine does not mean that they are the right size or weight. So make sure they only have the holes in here. What do we have? 2, 4, 6, 7 holes. Now when you're done, just take your bobbin straight off and around here, that little cutter, cut, and now you are actually holding it and we're ready to put the bobbin in. Let me go ahead and we'll finish up with the threading. You do want to still use that same guide, so it's always coming straight off the spool. Come straight towards you. Do make sure your presser foot is up. If it's not, go ahead and lift it up and then bring this straight down. You're coming back up. Go in on the right side, down on the left side. It'll hook right into this little take-up lever. You have one guide here. Go behind it. One guide at the top of your needle. Make sure you catch that one. So many people miss that one. And then we do have a needle threader on this machine. We'll do a close-up video on how that actually works. But I love it because it's so easy just to slip it in and pull it through. And you also have a thread cutter over here. So you have 1, 2, and there's actually another thread cutter down here for when you put your bobbins in. So open this up. Use your left hand. This will actually help you pull this out. Okay, it's a little handle. If you use your right hand, it's kind of awkward. So definitely, and then this puts the little finger straight up as you need it. So go ahead and take a look. You need your bobbin to be coming with the thread coming off the right hand side. Drop that in there. What you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and find this little groove. As you find this little groove, hold the bobbin so it stops spinning and slide it down the side of the bobbin case. And you'll hear a little click. See that little C area? That's where the thread is going to sit, and it does not matter which side of this little finger the thread is on. Next, reach over here with the latch. As you pull the latch open, that locks the bobbin in so it doesn't fall out. So if you're trying to get it out, let go of the latch, all right? And then we're going to go ahead and put it straight into the machine. Make sure that goes in all the way. Might even hear a little click. And then put the thread down on the side here. There's the last cutter, the third cutter. Cut the thread, close the door, and we're ready to sew. So we're just going to go ahead and pull a little fabric over and make sure that everything is looking good. Lower down the presser foot in the back and step on the foot control. That first little burp, you might say, that's just the machine's very first stitch. It will do that every time you turn the machine on and you're off and sewing. If it doesn't sound nice and smooth, something is not threaded right, just go back and rethread, put your bobbin in. Sometimes people don't get that in all the way and that actually doesn't work. Here, one more thing. This is peel that off, and now you have your beautiful screen we'll start working with and continue on with a few close-ups of some of the things I did while threading.